Today in paradise in beautiful Las Vegas. And what is going on with our real estate market? We have a new median price as of today. It's 440. Now, I'm not going to say it's not going to change because Monday. Today's a holiday actually in Las Vegas for the title company. So we may see a lot of closings on Monday, and those closings might bring us some I guess I should put my headset on. Might bring the price point up or down. We don't know. We've done about 74 sales a day this month so far, as of yesterday, 27 days. 74 daily sales. Last month we did 85. Now I think our number might go up to in the 80s anyway for October. And everybody knows the slower times of the year coming, November, December, because of the holidays and people doing other things. However, we have 114 days of inventory. So what does that mean? What can you do with that? Why is that so important? Well, it's important because with more inventory and with lower prices, there might be another market out there for you to get buyers. I talked with an agent the other day who says, I just need a little somebody else's insight. Like, should I go after sellers? Well, there's a lot of sellers, right? I mean, we've got 7,632 single family homes available. So do you want to get your sellers into that pool? Maybe, maybe not. So that's up to you. If that's where your niche is, go for it, because eventually they sell, right? Eventually they sell. That's a moving number, right? Because you have sales. Just remember that. It's a moving number. Those aren't properties that are just sitting there for months and months and months. There's turnover there. We have sales. We sold 101 homes yesterday. So that was of that 7,000 number, 74 of those were single family homes. So just think about that. Don't necessarily throw the sellers away or not go after the sellers, because you know what? Everything changes. That's one thing consistent. So don't stop your farming. Don't stop going after sellers. And sellers have equity in their home, and they might want to get that equity out now, thinking that maybe in the next 3 months, prices might go down, so their equity might go down. So there's a lot of reasons. Yes, the interest rates are higher. Have the seller offer $10,000 to the buyer's agent and tell the seller, look, we'll ask the same thing when we buy a home, because people have equity. And equity is paper equity, because the homes appreciated 14 to 18% last year. So yes, they've gone down a little bit. Not that much though, but they've gone down. Because when we started, let's see, in this January, I think it was 435? I had the number on the tip of my tongue, but I think it was about 440, 435, 440. Now we're back down to 440. So even the people that just bought this year aren't hurting. They're not going in the hole. So keep those things in mind. The other thing I want to bring to your attention is the fact that there are now more opportunities for investors. And if you'll see, we're doing about 33 sales a day to investors. And they're buying these homes. We've had price reductions, right? It's gone from up here to down here. So, now there's more opportunity for investors to list and buy, maybe just to buy. But there's opportunities on this sheet of paper if you just look at it. And of course, the $1 million homes are maintaining a higher number of sales per day than last year, which was higher than the previous year. So we still have a healthy $1 million plus market here in Las Vegas. And it's, how could I forget? It is, what is it, Nevada Day, because our company works on Nevada Day. It's a good day to get caught up. The banks are closed, the title companies are closed. So we use it as a work day, but we also give our employees other options during the year to make up for some of these holidays when they determine that they have the time to take off. So we have a little bit of a different philosophy, but nonetheless, it is Nevada Day, and happy Nevada Day to everybody. And what a wonderful place to live. When you think about all the other places in the country, we are so lucky, so very lucky. And people are still moving here. Taxes, climate, newer homes. And, our building market is still healthy. So new homes are still rolling off the assembly line. Not too much else I want to talk about here as far as, the inventory situation, 114 days. We're selling 74 a day. 33 investors per day are buying homes. So you need to figure out what your niche market is. Absolutely. And there's a lot of things, I want to talk a little bit about buyers for a minute, because the fellow that I met with the other day that was so kind, and we had such a healthy conversation for about an hour about the market and about what he should do. And you should all be planning to what you're going to do in 2023 to make it successful. This is the time of the year when you start planning. I know that I went to my Katie Lance mastermind last week for 2.5 days, and I've been kind of sporadic lately because I've made some changes in my company. Trying to take things up a notch in different ways, which has taken more of my time, which is okay. I missed a couple shows, but that's collateral damage, I guess, to make things better. And so you need to get yourself in a rhythm, and you need to stick to your schedule. If it's not on your schedule, it's not going to get done. Please, please, please make a schedule for 2023, something you can live with. And one of the exercises that we did in our mastermind was we took several hours, and Katie gave us a spreadsheet of different ideas to post content or to do videos or to do short reels, YouTube shorts or reels and things like that, so that we didn't have to sit around and think about what we were going to do. We knew what we were going to do. We planned it in advance. Yes, we planned it. So we had 17 people in the mastermind group from all across the country. And we sat there for hours and talked and planned what we were going to do for the 52 weeks in 2023. And we all finished our spreadsheet. Yes, we all came up with, this is the idea. And then some comments, like if I'm going to talk about the recession, what are the salient points? Maybe what are the places I'm going to go, like Fannie Mae, maybe, or NAR, to look for information to supply that content. So it was really a great exercise. And I think we worked a couple hours a day for 2 of the days that we had the mastermind. So it takes time, but you have to be focused. And it was fun doing it with a group of people we were all doing the same thing, exchanging ideas. We were all from different parts of the country, so nobody was stepping on anybody's toes. It was really, really healthy. And think about that. Okay, that's one of the things I want to talk about today is there is a fella who, his name is Ken Pozak. And he thought he moved to Orlando, and he thought, well, I'm going to do something different. And
This AI portion of this impact on our industry.
See why that's not. Let me show that in the stream here. Let's see. Let me hide this. Anyway, let's listen to it sometime.
That's like, I like that. I don't know if it's like a tag, but it says it on your Instagram, and I like that.
Yeah, I think when I moved here, it was like I knew a lot of realtors, but I didn't know anybody else that lived here other than Mickey. So I was like, how do I reposition myself with all of these realtors that I know, as like I'm in Orlando now? And so I went in really on the persona of just being the theme park guy. We're constantly sharing stuff about Disney and what's going on in Orlando. And through that, that's actually kind of how I found my voice with content on YouTube, was just sort of like being the actual digital mayor, talking about like the news, what's coming, the developments, a little bit of like the moving to and living in videos, but more so like you come to me for a resource on all things Orlando. And so that's actually changed my life. That's changed our business in a really big way.
Yeah, that was super smart, because, not every city, or like, you can't always do that. Like Orlando is super searchable. So
Right.
like for you to get on it that kind of early on when not a lot of people were doing it, you're like the go-to now. Toronto's kind of searchable, but if you're in like, Detroit isn't people aren't just like YouTubing, things to do in Detroit.
5 reasons to move to Detroit.
Yeah, they're not really doing that, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure Detroit has some great places, but like Orlando, like I told you, I'm going to Orlando on Saturday, and like we would just Google like, yeah, what's like best things to do in Orlando, and if you pop up, now you're like subconsciously, if we were to ever buy like an investment property or something like that, like you're the person because you're like the originator of the content. And there's something to be said about being first or early. I really do believe that.
Yeah, and then from there, it's just the consistency because there's lots of guys, a lot of agents here jumping on the YouTube bandwagon, and they'll try that for a while, and they typically give up after 4 or 5 videos that flop. And that was just I don't know, when I moved here, it was like, I'm going to do 100 videos in 100 days. They're going to suck. I'm going to edit them myself and just see what happens. And then one of them popped off, got 140,000 views on YouTube, and I was like, started getting calls, like, okay, it's worth pushing through and figuring this out. And so it's been a cool ride.
What was that video that popped off?
The top 10 things you didn't know about Celebration, Florida, which if you're a Disney fan at all, like Disney created this town, like this utopia town where everything is like they still have a seat on the board, Disney does, of the homeowners association. So if you want to paint your door a color, this is what it's got to look like. And so I did a video about that, and like the homeowners association costs, like what goes on in the neighborhood. And for whatever reason, that one did really well. And so I immediately like pivoted from builder tours to more so like the moving to living in videos. And then now over the past 18 months, it's kind of transitioned to a little bit more like all encompassing Orlando. So yeah, that was a transition.
What does it look like? Because obviously you don't just post a video and then people are like, I want to use you. And then they just come knocking on your door. How does that nurturing process, like, what does that look like once you post a video, someone reaches out? What happens next? Yeah,
so we've got an ISA team. We've got 2 people that are in-house ISAs that know the area really well. And so they book an appointment to figure out like a mini buyer consult. So, okay, you're moving to Orlando. Are you buying an Airbnb? Are you buying an investment? Are you moving here for work? Are you retiring here? What is it? They dive in a little bit more about their backstory. And then through that, they're like, who I think Ken would want you to work with is Brianna, because Brianna is our Airbnb queen. You're going to love working with her. When's the best time for her to reach out? And so our call to action, essentially, like, we want to be your real estate resource of choice. If you're looking to buy or sell, email me at info@positgroup.com. And so that email is set up specifically for YouTube. So if it comes in at all, we know that that's a YouTube lead. And so currently, like year to date, 39% of our business comes directly from YouTube.
Jesus.
And then everything else becomes easier too, like Sphere stuff, agent referrals, like they're all reaching out because of that content as well. So it's a good place to pivot.
That email, are you plugging that within your video, or is that a link in description?
Both. Yep.
Okay.
Both.
So that should give you some, perhaps some inspiration. Now, here's his YouTube channel. It says Ken Posak, Real Estate, Theme Parks, Life in Orlando. And if you look here, let's see, this is how Universal could overtake Disney World. That one didn't get quite as many views. The one that got the views is Orlando, and he wrote on a sheet of paper, property tax. That got an enormous amount of views. And then, of course, insurance, because insurance is a big issue in Florida. And then before moving, what they wish they knew before moving to Orlando. These are topics you can go on his site, and you can actually use some of the things, some of the topics that he has used. And the thing I want to impress upon everybody, Orlando and Las Vegas are destinations. So there's always people looking for information about our cities. And of course, YouTube is the how to, where to channel where people search for specific items. So there's a lot of moving parts to YouTube. I won't deny that. And of course, he did 100 videos in 100 days. Okay, so you can do 100 videos in 100 days. There's tons of things to video in Las Vegas. There's new restaurants. There's new homes. There are trees going up. Lovely things to do with your children. Go to the conservatory. When you move to Vegas, what do you do for entertainment? There's so many topics, and we're so glitzy. There's just so much. The container park. The list goes on, and you can talk about Las Vegas residents will be delighted with, the property tax or the no state income tax, let's say. But you can come up with some beautiful topics and some hooks to get people in. They don't have to be long videos, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes max. And then you can do a short. You can do YouTube shorts. You can take your shorts and do Instagram. You can take one piece of content and actually put it over different platforms. Of course, you know that. And we recommend veed.io as one of the great editing that you can take a horizontal video and make a vertical video with it. But anyway, I am in a little hurry, so sorry if I am rushing. But go just look and get some ideas. Listen to him. Get some inspiration. You just don't need to think of these things yourself. And that was one of the great things about my mastermind group. We exchanged ideas. I can do what someone's doing in Boston, or someone's doing in Orlando, or someone's doing in California. I can do different things because I'm in a different place. So you can go and look at these different video real estate agents that have become videographers. He said he edited his own videos, and then one popped. And then he took off on that particular chapter, which was, things about living in Orlando, things about moving to Orlando, things that you want to know before you move here. Those things, everybody, we have people moving here. We still have people moving here. So if you're looking for, you're looking for buyers, this is a great place to get buyers. And when I met with this agent, which I talked about earlier in the week, that was his thing. Where does he get buyers? Does he buy leads? No, I said, don't buy leads. Everybody's selling you leads, and they say, we're going to give you the exclusive leads from, this area or whatever. Well, so are 10 other companies saying that they're exclusive. But in the end, they're the same leads that 10 different companies are giving to 10 agents. So don't buy leads. Farm, create a YouTube channel, make sure you have a Google business page, get your LinkedIn profile and your information up to date, get your business page on Facebook up to date. So many things that you need to do between now and the first of the year to get ready for 2023. Time for me to go. Let's see. We'll explore more ideas with YouTube as this year comes to an end, because I really, really think this is where people need to next go. Remember, we said years ago, you go deep in one, get your LinkedIn set up, go deep, get it set up. If you're an Instagram person, get that set up. Go to Agent Formula's Instagram page and you'll see, go to the link tree, because that's one of the things that you want to really do first is your link tree, because you can only have one link in Instagram. So on your bio, and you want people to go and see the other things that you do. Anyway, as usual, there's lots of ideas out there to get business and to stay in front of people. And that's what you need to do, because people, when they call you to do a listing, or if they're making an appointment with you because they're coming in from out of town, whether they want to rent or buy or invest, they're going to look you up. So you need to have a solid foundation somewhere. And I've got to go. Let's see. Our next CE class will be November the 3rd on agency. And I will be sending out an email this weekend, me and Jimmy, so that you can sign up and take your agency class. I love you all. Sorry about Wednesday. Stuff happens. I will be back Monday, and we'll continue to give you some tidbits about how you can get in front of people and get not between now and the end of the year, but get yourself together. So starting in January, you can be in front of people and you have your act together, and it doesn't become a panic situation. It becomes a schedule item on your to-do list, and you get it done. Remember, if it's not on your calendar, you won't do it. Love you all. My 20 minutes are up today.